Hello friends, welcome to our channel Cbse English, the topper's choice. In today's video, we are going to discuss class 12th first poem from the book Flamingo My Mother at 66. Here we go. At the beginning, we'll talk about the poet of this poem. Kamala Das is the poet of this poem. Kamala Das, who lived between 1934 and 2009, was born in Malabar, Kerala. She is recognized as one of India's foremost poets. Her works are known for their originality, versatility, and the indigenous flavor of the soil. Kamala Das has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the name Madhavi Kutti. Some of her works in English include the novel Alphabet of Lust, which was published in 1977, a collection of short stories, Padmavati the Harlot and Other Stories, published in 1992, in addition to 5 books of poetry. She is a sensitive writer who captures the complex subtleties of human relationships in lyrical idiom. My Mother at 66 is an example. Introduction to this poem. The poem My Mother at 66, written by Kamala Das, is about the poet's mother. This poem is based on mother-daughter relation, and the poet shares her feelings of love and attachment towards her aging mother. The whole poem is in a single sentence punctuated by commas. It indicates a single thread of thought interspersed with observations of the real world around and the way these are connected to the main idea. Theme of this poem. The poem revolves around the theme of advancing age and the fear that adheres to its loss and separation. It is a sentimental account of the mother's approaching end through the eyes of the daughter. This short poem touches upon the theme of the filial bond between the mother and daughter, smeared in the backdrop of nostalgia and fear. Nostalgia of the past, that is, the time spent with the mother, and fear of the future, that is, without her. Now we'll discuss the summary of this poem. The poet was driving from her parents' home to the Cochin airport last Friday morning. Her mother was sitting beside her. She was 66 years old. The old lady was dozing. Her mouth remained open. Her face looked pale and faded. It was grey like ash. It looked lifeless like a corpse. Corpse means dead body. The lifeless and faded face of her mother pained her heart. The old lady seemed to be lost in her own thoughts. The poet turned away her attention from her mother and looked outside. The world outside was full of life and activity. The young trees seemed running fast. The children looked happy while moving out of their homes. When they were at the airport, they had to undergo a security check. The poet was standing a few yards away from her mother. She looked again at her old mother. She felt pained to look at the colorless, lifeless, and pale face of her mother. Her face looked faded like the late winter's moon, which had lost its shine and strength. This aroused the old familiar ache in the poet's heart. Her childhood fear overpowered her again. However, she controlled herself. She appeared to be normal. She scattered smiles on her face while saying goodbye to her mother. She wished to see her old Amma again. Now we'll discuss the literary devices used in this poem. First, rhyming scheme. There is no rhyming scheme in the poem. It's a free verse. The whole poem is in a single sentence punctuated by commas. Number 2, imagery. The imagery used in the poem is both death and youth. The image of young trees and merry children is contrast to the mother. See, for example, the merry children spilling out of their homes. In this line, the children are youthful and exuberant. Spring of life contrasts to the morbid atmosphere inside the car, that is, the old mother who is weak, frail, and inactive. Number 3, simile. In simile, the comparison of one thing is made with another thing of a different kind to make a description more emphatic or vivid. Simile has been used in these lines or examples of the poem. Her face ashen like that of a corpse, wan, pale as a late winter's moon. Personification. In personification, an idea or thing is given human attributes or feelings or is spoken of as if it were human. And this has been used in this example in the poem. Trees sprinting. The sprinting movement of trees rushing past signify youth, life, or passage of time. Metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech that makes a comparison between two unlike things without the express use of like or as. See, for example, children spilling. Repetition. Repetition is a literary device that involves intentionally using a word or phrase for effect two or more times. This has been used in this example of the poem. All I did was smile and smile and smile. So here, smile, this word has been used repeatedly. Now we'll discuss the main points of this poem. The poet Kamala Das is traveling to Cochin airport with her mother in a car. She looks at the wan, pale face of her dozing mother. The old fear of losing her mother returns. The sprinting trees and merry children provide the contrast and relief. After the security check, the old familiar ache returns. The poet tries to hide her emotions by smiling. She bids goodbye to her mother with the hope to see her again. So dear friends, if you have liked this video, please click on like, subscribe the channel and click on the bell icon to get more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching.